Billionaire investor Elon Musk is literally shooting for the stars with his company SpaceX. It looks like that's not all he has planned for the skies. What else has his brilliant mind cooked up? Which of his many companies will be handling this new idea? Elon Musk is releasing a jet that flies like a drone. It might sound shocking to you, but this is something Twitter's favorite billionaire has had hidden away in his mind for years. Hang out with us and see how Mars' next colonizer wants to take over the aviation industry. Meanwhile, don't forget to leave a comment below to get into our monthly shoutout and monthly giveaway opportunity. Elon Musk, a visionary, isn't content with just making electric vehicles and trucks or flying rockets into space. And certainly, he is a one-of-a-kind individual who never does anything commonplace. So it's no surprise that he and Tesla's great team of engineers and designers are now looking at the aviation business and what extraordinary enterprise Elon and Tesla will be giving this time: a supersonic VTOL electric plane. Vertical takeoff and landing is abbreviated as VTOL. Simply expressed, the electric plane will be able to take off and land vertically, similar to a drone using this technology. Let's take a look at what Elon has said in the past concerning electric planes. Elon originally mentioned his plan to build an electric plane in 2009. He was speaking at a TechCrunch interview where he discussed how, as battery energy advances, an electric plane becomes more realistic. In the 2010 film Iron Man 2, he even expressed his aspirations to build an electric plane to Tony Stark. Then, in 2018, Elon admitted on the Joe Rogan podcast that he had discussed the idea of an electric jet with some of his friends and girlfriends. He claimed to have a concept for an electric supersonic jet with vertical takeoff and landing. He also mentioned that the most important duty for an electric plane would be to fly as high as possible in the sky, and that in order to do so, the battery pack would need to have a particular energy density because the planes would have to overcome gravitational potential energy. He goes on to add that the energy used in cruise is quite minimal, and that on the way down, you can reclaim a big portion of your gravitational potential energy. In brief, because the planes will have gravitational energy, they will not require any reverse fuel. What role will VTOL technology play in this? They'll have to use two distinct propulsion systems, according to Elon. The first will be used to raise the plane off the ground and into the air. The second will accelerate the plane to supersonic speeds. Elon continues tweeting about how eager he is to work on the concept of VTOL electric aircraft every now and then. Well, looks like Tesla has unveiled an ambitious initiative in the electric automobile business, this time the eVTOL flying car, which is an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. Elon Musk released possible designs of the suggested model, Phi, on Twitter in June 2020 and commented, "Looks very cool." Tom Abbott Davies, an industrial designer from the United Kingdom, created the design as part of his application for a Tesla internship program. Sadly, he did not receive the internship and is now searching for work as an industrial designer for an eVTOL or hybrid electric VTOL manufacturer. Tom began working on the eVTOL automobile concept in 2014, drawing influence from a manta ray. His one-passenger eVTOL car has a vertically flying tree ducted fence, titanium turbine blades, and a rear fence on a gimbal that allows it to transition to forward flight. 3 lithium-ion batteries power the car's 3 motors. There's a 1,250 kilowatt rear motor and 2 650 kilowatt brushless motors with rotor blades. These 3 motors work together to provide distributed electric propulsion, allowing the plane to land safely even if one motor fails. Despite the fact that there has been no official declaration from Tesla regarding their acceptance of the design, Elon's public praise suggests that they may take inspiration from it in the future, which leads us to our next question: Tesla's challenges. Why is it taking so long to get started on the project? Elon Musk has spoken about the different roadblocks that stand in the way of his plans to build electric planes on numerous occasions. He admitted that money isn't the issue, but a lack of excellent engineers is. Another major issue he mentioned in 2018 was the batteries. In order for a plane to take off vertically, in 2020, he claimed, they'll need a battery with a power of around 400 to 500 watt-hours per kilogram capacity. Elon Musk replied on the eve of Tesla Battery Day, saying that there are batteries in limited production right now that exceed 400 watts. He went on to say that he believes that number is the minimum for a reasonable minimum range airplane and that Tesla batteries will eventually approach 400 watt-hours per kilogram. However, according to his most recent tweet, widespread production of these batteries will take 2 to 3 years. Elon tweeted in July 2021 that he wanted to start working on a supersonic VTOL electric jet, but he couldn't because he was currently working on so many other projects and his brain would explode if he took on any more. Elon admitted that while creating an electric aircraft prototype is a straightforward effort, things like mass production, low cost, and obtaining a vision certificate make it 100 times more difficult. There are also environmental problems. From an environmental standpoint, Elon stated that renewable energy and electric vehicles are his top priority. And it makes sense, given flying airplanes accounted for only 2.4% of worldwide carbon dioxide emissions in 2018, according to the EESI, the Environmental and Energy Studies Institute. According to the World Resource Institute, transportation was responsible for roughly 24% of CO2 emissions in 2016, with road emissions accounting for around 72% of total transport emissions. Last but not least, there are some concerns about safety that must be addressed. What if the battery catches fire or needs to be recharged in mid-flight, for example? In comparison to merely checking the fuel pipes on a standard plane, it is not possible to check for flaws in the battery on a regular basis. Company strategies. So does Tesla have answers to these issues? Let's get this party started. Starting with the battery issue, it appears that happy days are ahead. Tesla purchased Maxwell Technologies, a battery company, at the Needham Growth Conference in February 2019. In their presentations, Maxwell Technologies claims that they would be able to provide batteries with 300 watt-hours per kilogram. They've also figured out how to produce batteries that have 500 watt-hours per kilogram. Now, if we're talking about battery recharging issues, Tesla may have to invest in solar power. Solar panels on electric planes could give supplementary power supply to batteries, similar to having a backup fuel tank in a traditional jet. We haven't witnessed any technological improvements in aviation in the recent decade. With VTOL, that will undoubtedly alter. However, the question of whether electric planes are superior to conventional planes emerges. Let's have a look. Electric planes will be far less expensive than traditional planes since they will rely on batteries rather than fuel. Because it will utilize VTOL technology, there will be no need for large runways. There will also be a reduction in the amount of noise produced when the plane is taken off the ground. Air travel will become significantly speedier since the flight time will be shortened by around half. Consider that a flight from New York to London currently takes roughly 7 hours. London is only 3.5 hours away with a VTOL electric plane. The way forward. So, when will the Tesla VTOL electric plane be on display? To address these issues, we'll need to think about things like the availability of efficient batteries, prototyping, research and testing time, aviation certificates, and government approval, among other things. It is estimated that it will take at least 8 to 9 years to see VTOL electric planes flying high in the sky. So, for the time being, we'll simply have to wait and see. More aviation plans. The Tesla helicopter appears to be on its way, according to designer Antonio Paglia. Tesla's virtue as a company is embodied in this design. Unlike the supersonic electric VTOL, Tesla does not have the time or immediate need to build electric helicopters. Antonio believes the helicopter will be developed when Tesla's battery technology improves to the point where it can power flying equipment. The futuristic-looking flying aircraft would be built for speed and efficiency. Antonio believes the Tesla helicopter will be able to conduct safety and patrol duties, making it ideal for departments like safety and patrol, making air and ground patrol easier, cheaper, and more efficient. Be sure to subscribe.